Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our webinar, How Personal Shipping Delivers Big Benefits. My name is Amanda Armendariz, and I am the editor of Parcel Media. Before I introduce our speakers today, I'm just going to go over a few brief housekeeping items, and then I will jump into the introductions. So first of all, if you have any technical issues at any point during this webinar, please submit a question in the Q&A box, and a member of our staff will be able to assist you. If you have any questions for our presenters, please also submit a question in that same spot, and we will be getting to as many questions as possible at the end of our presentation. Finally, our webinars are archived for a full year, so if you want to view this presentation again or forward it to a colleague, you can use the same link that you used to view the webinar live today. All right, our first speaker today is Tom Hazel, and he is the Director, Carrier Management Solutions North America at Pitney Bowes. In this role, he serves as manages the Carrier Management Solutions product group for the North American Field Organization and Inside Sales channels, and he also sits on many postal, education, and development committees within the organization. Our other speaker today is Mike Graves, and he is the Vice President of Product Management and Strategy for PureBridge WiseTech Global. He has 25 years of experience in leadership, technical sales, and solution architecture for logistics and supply chain software and technology. So both of these speakers are very knowledgeable. I'm excited to hear what they have to say. And before I hand it off, I just want to say thank you to both Pitney Bowes and PureBridge for making this webinar complimentary to our audience. All right, so I will hand it over to Tom and Mike.
All right. Well, thank you, Amanda. I was waiting for that. Apologies. Good afternoon or good morning, everyone out there. Today, we're going to talk about personal shipping and how it does deliver big benefits in many forms and fashions within your organizations overall. It's actually provided with very little or no cost or maintenance involved. It does help organizations reduce their own internal shipping costs, and we'll discuss how that does happen. It will improve cost accountability versus other methods may be taking place. And it obviously keeps people safe and secure and productive at their desks and doing their job, because this can be accessed right at their own desktops where they work today, or even while they're on the road or traveling as well. So looking at it, the idea really is to help you attract and retain value employees and talent. You know, it's a very, very competitive market in the labor force today. Labor force participation is very strong at this point in time. Unemployment is extremely low in all facets of many labor forces. So a lot of organizations are increasingly looking to ways to, help an employee make a decision to come to them or stay with them by providing lifestyle benefits, the same time, money, and headaches. And really, the company benefits by keeping the company's employees productive and rested through the days, weekends, and so forth. And obviously, anything that can provide additional benefit over another opportunity obviously gives you an advantage in your world when you do compete for employees and retain employees overall. And many organizations do let their employees ship on the company account. They may build custom solutions around that, and obviously, in some cases, even turn a blind eye to rogue shipping, which obviously does not help the bottom line or operating expense budgets overall. So whether you realize it or not, you may already be supporting personal shipping. At some point, most people need to ship a personal package. I mean, I'm needing to do it from time to time in my role at Pitney Bowes, whether it's for clients or for my family. My daughter attends university in Tampa, and I often ship her things down, so she has something to open once in a while from Dad, not just use my credit cards. So maybe important paperwork, a gift for a family or friend, items even sold online, that does happen. And like I said earlier, many large organizations, either formally or informally, at some times do support personal shipping in a rogue experience or a do-it-yourself personal shipping experience as well. So looking at a couple situations, if you will, the employee leaves the office during the day to ship a package. And if it's not a convenient location, They may have to have a long drive, a long wait, and obviously safety concerns about them traveling within company time just to get a package shipped they need to get out the door. It will and can affect productivity overall. And obviously that's never a good situation for organizations. The other situation is, employee may ship their package on the organization's account, right? So slips the package in the regular outgoing shipments. Hey, no one's going to notice. Organization may pay the entire shipping cost. And essentially, it's employee theft. Not often talked about, obviously, but certainly there are opportunities out there that this could happen overall, especially with carrier-provided solutions. And gosh forbid air bills that are being used by organizations today. Hope not. Expensive proposition and very difficult to manage. The other opportunity will be that maybe you do let them ship on your account, but then you'll charge them. So you do have to account for the spend, understand the process, the transaction, collect monies, handling cash or credit card payment or payroll deductions. Again, a lot of more back office opportunity that is difficult to manage. And sometimes there's no way to really determine or collect post-shipment fees. So if, for instance, you send a package out from Tom Hazel, for instance, and it ends up being at a bad address, which wasn't corrected and the organization was charged, you have to come back to me for the additional $16 or $16.40 or incorrect weight, or dimensions. You could have many things that can affect a rebill, residential versus commercial, rural residential, and things like that. So it does make it very difficult not only to manage a situation where you're allowing them to use your account, but also manage the back end and charging them back and handling that piece of the pie, as well as the puzzle associated with rebills and surcharges and adjustments. The other opportunity is, and we've run into this from time to time, not as common, is the organizations may build a custom tool to allow employees, to ship on the account. And obviously, with any custom tool, there's maintenance involved. There's obviously a build time opportunity, and I don't know many organizations that have IT folks saying, hey, anything for me to do? IT organizations are usually pretty busy. And then obviously you have the credit card opportunity, right? So hosting that information could cause problems. It could cause headaches overall. And again, the post-shipment adjustments could come into play. So that can be difficult too. So, what if your employees could ship from their desktop using their own personal credit card with an easy, accessible enterprise shipping tool that would eliminate all the things that we just talked about? Take the obligation from a standpoint of management away from your organization, provide tremendous employee value, where they don't have to leave the building, where they can pay for shipping and all the fees that may happen after the fact in a secure environment, where they can ship for the same efficiency as a high-volume mail center or high-volume warehouse. By that, looking at the least cost alternatives when they want it delivered, making sure the address is correct before they send. All these items could be accounted for on the front side. And where there's very little cost to maintenance for you as an organization to provide this tool. Well, that's what we're here to talk to you about today. And I'm going to hand it over to Mike Graves now. He's going to take you through a couple of series of slides, and then we're going to take a walk through the product itself. So, Mike, thanks for joining as well.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. So, as we started to develop the solution, we went out and talked to a lot of, mid to large size organizations in particular to help get some feedback and identify, what are the types of features and functionality they were really looking for and how this could benefit them, particularly, as a benefit to their employees. So we went out and talked to some of the top retailers, large technology companies, and financial institutions, and really found that they were all looking to create a win-win situation with this type of benefit offer where both the employee benefited as well as the employer. Okay, so we'll see in the demo that in addition to the standard desktop shipping that you might do for your corporate expense, things like documents, product samples, marketing-related content that needs to be moved throughout the organization and built to the company, as Tom indicated earlier, employees have these personal shipping needs, right? So they're sending these gifts or crafts and items that they may sell on eBay or Etsy. And, the idea was to then take that information and develop a solution that had both the employee and the employer in mind. And this allows the employer to offer this low-cost solution while still protecting the bottom line. So again, some of the things that Tom's already hit on is things like rogue shipping, the difficulties with the accounting process, and really this idea of unrecoverable costs. With one of the large tech companies that we talked to, they were experiencing over $60,000 a year in unrecoverable costs, where they were collecting for these employee shipments up front, and they weren't able to then charge back those post-shipment adjustments that Tom talked about. All right. So at the same time we were providing that employer focus, we also wanted to make sure that we had a really robust, feature-rich, easy-to-use solution that the employees will actually use. So that's what we set out to do. And if you'd like, let me move us over now to the live screen, and I will walk you through the demo. All right, so this is the personal shipping app. Again, I can simply select an address or manually enter a new address. I can enter a weight or read that weight from a scale and hit next. So from here, again, we'll see all of the rates and services that are available. And I can select FedEx Ground in this case. And I'm going to get to the pay and print screen. So from here, I've already set up a card, so it's automatically defaulted to my previous payment method. But I can add a new payment method right here. I can also do things like change my expiration date, if I've got a new card, that type of thing, and simply hit pay and print. So at this point, it's authorizing the card, making the payment to the carrier, and generating my shipping label that I can then just apply to the package and then drop it into the mail center on campus or at a local drop box. All right. So it drops me back in here if I want to do another shipment. I can also see my shipping history, and I can go look at the details of that package, what my cost was. I can track the shipment here. If I need to void or reprint, I can do all of that easily right here in the History tab. All right, so pretty simple. Any questions, comments? Okay.
I don't see any
We'll move
questions.
it over.
But we'll again. Hopefully they're coming in right now.
Okay.
All right, Mike.
All right,
So thank you for the demonstration. Sorry for the lack of screen share in the beginning there, folks. I was think it was my side of the business, not the system's display. So thanks for those who chimed in and said we can see the demonstration. So you see how easy this is to kind of walk through. Keep it very simple, a step-by-step process. Again, if there's an error associated with the box's weight or dimensions, what will happen is the carrier makes an adjustment. They'll go back to the credit card used and make that adjustment accordingly. But you likely can see how easy and simple and beneficial this would be for your organization. As Mike talked about, we went and spoke to organizations of all types and all sizes, from the desktop-only community to the marketing community and other types of shippers that are out there that Mike spoke of. So working in accordance with the rest of the benefits of the SendPro Enterprise solution, it really does deliver even more value than previously. So if you'd like to be contacted about this solution, Normally we have something in the webinar. That didn't happen, and we apologize for that. But I'd be glad to field your phone calls or your emails, tom.hazel@pv.com, if you'd like more information. Or if we don't get to your question, feel free to email me the question, and I will respond in good speed, as I like to do. From that, we'll hand it off back to Amanda to see, Amanda, if you have any questions in the queue that we can address, Mike and I can address.
All right, great. And yes, I do see some great questions here, so let's jump right in. So the first one is pretty straightforward. It's just, can a user weigh a package using this system?
Yep.
So this is Mike.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, Tom. So as long as they have a scale configured, then yes, they can read the scale weight, or they can manually enter the weight.
Okay, great. Tom, did you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, they also can weigh it at another scale location. Just understand what the weight is, come back and just type it into the application. So it's not like all your employees need a scale attached to their computer at their desk. So most organizations have scales somewhere throughout the organization. Just weigh it so it's properly accounted for. And we do have a couple of slides to provide handy tips on personal shipping that we provide with the application. And one thing is, make sure you weigh the package properly, and also explaining the rules around associated to dimensional rating. So that would be a part of the training session we do in webinar form for our clients who get the application. Thank you, Amanda.
All right, thank you. The next question is, can this be installed on every client in the company?
Yep. So the beauty of the solution is it's a web-based solution. So there's nothing installed at PC levels. All your users need is internet access and a browser, Internet Explorer 11, Google Chrome, Safari, Firefox can be utilized. So it doesn't require any application to be installed at any PC or any internet connected device. They just need access to the internet. So literally, if you wanted to allow for it and they have a sign-on that allows them to access your systems, they could actually use their home computer. They could use their tablet at home. They could do it on Saturday. They could do it on Sunday. So access is there.
Great, thank you. All right, Tom, what is the discounted shipping rate based on? Is it connected to a company's negotiated rate, like with FedEx or UPS, or is it a Pitney Bowes negotiated rate?
It is built through a Pitney Bowes negotiated rate, and the reason for that is very simple and straightforward. In order to ensure that, and the company Mike mentioned where they couldn't account for $60,000 worth of adjustments, the reason behind that is they were using their own account number. So if they're using their own accounts, even if they're using a credit card to pay for shipping, the adjustments were going back to them. By alternatively utilizing an account that we establish at Pitney Bowes for UPS, US Postal, and FedEx, any adjustments will go directly back to the credit card and be no responsibility of the organization overall. That is a phenomenal question.
Wonderful, thank you. All right, the next question is for Mike, and it says, can this also be used for a bill receiver scenario?
Yeah, that's another great question. So today it's only for personal shipping. It's not intended to be used for things like P cards or corporate purchasing. We are looking for pilot customers so that we could add that functionality. It's definitely something that we plan to add.
Thank you. All right, for the next question is, what credit cards can be used with the system?
Yep, that's a great question. Mike, I'll handle that one. So you have MasterCard, Visa, obviously, Discover, and you also have Diners Club, and I believe American Express as well, Mike, yes?
Yeah, we accept all of those payment types, and next week we'll be releasing the new update that includes Google Pay and Apple Pay.
Wow, it's exciting news. I know you were ahead of the game there. Even I learned something today. Good stuff.
All right, the next question is, and this I think can be for either one of you, whoever wants to take it, can I ship from home using this platform?
Yep. As long as you're allowing your employees access to your systems remotely, then they could access the application if you allow for that to happen. So if you allow your employees to come in from their any internet-connected device, maybe they work from home, maybe they work from home in the bad weather, and you allow it all the time. I mean, at Pitney Bowes, I have access to my computer and my systems anywhere I am in the country 24/7. So I can literally ship at 1 o'clock in the morning if I feel like shipping with this application. So sure, you can do that. Great question.
Great. Mike, did you have anything to add to that?
No.
Okay, cool. Just
No.
want to make sure. So the next question is, and I'll direct this to Tom, but again, Mike, you can jump in afterward if you have anything to add. When choosing the rate, did I see UPS, USPS, and FedEx all on one screen, which means that who's ever using this system can choose the cheapest rate or the fastest delivery option?
It's exactly, Amanda, what you saw. So it will rate for U.S. Postal Service, FedEx, and UPS. And it will allow that you can look at every one of them and say, hey, I want it delivered by Friday. What's my least cost alternative? What time of day will they get it delivered? 8:30 versus 10:30 versus 3 p.m. versus 5. So whatever service is available by that carrier. In some cases, carriers don't deliver by 10:30 in certain parts of the country. You can't get it delivered till 12 o'clock or 3 o'clock. It'll show you their exact delivery objectives. It'll also show you, and we should have pointed out, if it is a guaranteed service. So anything that is guaranteed, when you look at the rate on the screen, it'll show you a little sunshine, which will show you that it is guaranteed. And Mike, you want to make real quick screen share while we're answering this question, if you would, and just show the rate shop screen again for clarity for everyone out there. It did kind of happen quick on the screen for me as well, if you're comfortable doing that. But another thoughtful question, very, very good question.
Great, thank you. All right, Mike, are you interested in
Yes.
screen share?
Yeah, I'm trying to, let me see if I can screen share it real quick.
Okay, no, you're fine. I just didn't want to jump to the next question if we were going to get back to this one.
Sure. All right.
And we'll let you know when we can see it, Mike.
All right, can you guys see it now?
Not yet.
All right, I can see it now.
Okay.
Okay. So this is what we call our default calendar view. And this is displaying all of the rates and services that are available to that user. And it's sorted by delivery time and date. And in some cases, you'll see like tomorrow, end of day, I have 3 options. So by default, we show the least cost option, but you can open this up and look at additional options if you want to choose something else. You can do that here. The user also has an option to see this in a list view where you can see from least cost to most expensive.
As a reminder, while Mike's on the screen, the fees you see there are inclusive of residential delivery surcharges, delivery area surcharges, extended surcharges, and fuel surcharges. So anything that is applied, whether it be by weight, dimensions, or where the physical location happens to be, those fees are calculated up front and presented. And then you see in the middle where you see the sunshine, that is the guaranteed level of service that is presented there, which is also important to note. So in this case here, if you need it there tomorrow, you can go from paying $87.90 for this package, maybe to my daughter, all the way down to $13.10. So obviously it gives you the span. If you look out to Monday, you're going to pay more money for a later delivery from the other carriers, as you can clearly see. So it isn't guaranteed on the Priority Mail side, but I think most of us on the phone know how well that's gone as far as the improved services and trackability of Priority Mail and parcel services. So great job, Mike. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mike. All right, for the next question, Tom, obviously we saw it. There's FedEx, USPS, UPS on there. Does it work with any carriers, or perhaps, regional carriers? Is that a possibility with this system?
As it's built today, it is just the carriers we're seeing here today, the big three, if you will. That being said, as Mike indicated, from a standpoint of payment, we're always looking to progress the product as we're progressing it from a pay standpoint, Google Pay and Apple Pay. So we will look to progress the product where needs out there. So that's a fantastic question. And pardon me, and obviously we need a beta around that too someday. So if that individual wants to send me their information who asked the question, I'll put you on the list.
Great, thank you. All right, the next question is for Mike. Is a user, are they able to use this on a mobile device?
Yes, so we don't have responsive apps today, but the app does work, and as long as they have the ability to print a label, then absolutely they can use a mobile device.
Okay, great. And then this next question is also for you, Mike. What is there to prevent an employee from sharing this benefit with anyone?
Oh, that's a great question. So every employee has to be configured, or every user has to be configured with a corporate shipping address. So in the case of PeerBridge, I have to have my name at peerbridge.com in order to gain access. So you have to be set up in the system, provided with access, and have a corporate email address in order to access it. Clearly there's nothing that prevents an employee from taking the same benefit, putting in a credit card for friends and family, but they are the shipper of record, and all those charges will come back to that original credit card.
Great, thank you. All right, Mike, again, the next question is, what about shipping internationally? Is that a possibility here with this system?
Yeah, absolutely. And when we ship an international shipment, we also add DHL to the mix. So, that expands the options when we do an international shipment.
Great, thank you. All right, the next question is, what is the typical discount on the published rates that we would get through this application?
So I'll take that one. On average, it's about 15% off of the retail rate or the daily rate, depending on the carrier.
Thanks, Mike. I was on
good.
mute. I couldn't get off mute.
That's okay, Tom. Did you have something to add to that?
No, Mike's spot on. I just couldn't get off mute quick enough. I'm sorry for that.
Nope, that is fine. All right, well, it looks like we are at the end of our presentation time. So once again, thank you to everyone who took time out of your busy day to attend this webinar. We really appreciate it. And again, we at Parcel want to again thank Pitney Bowes and PeerBridge for sponsoring this webinar. I think this was a fantastic topic, a little different than what we normally do, which I like. I like, delving into new ideas of what's going on in the parcel industry. So thank you to Tom and Mike. This was a great presentation, and just a reminder to everyone that if you want to access this presentation again, you can just use the same link that you used to view it today. So thanks everyone, and have a great rest of your afternoon.